anyone know that there's a tie to a new courthouse involved in all of this? And that we have a letter from the Supreme Court telling us we need to fix our courthouse issues here? And so, again, it's frustrating because we do, every one of us, work on all the details on all of these issues, and we do the best we can. Sometimes we have to compromise and make allowances for different things that don't, on the surface, look like they're popular. But we do a lot of that, and our staff has worked extremely hard on this MOU and this Downtown Stafford. Downtown Stafford, we've been talking about it since I first came on the board in 2006. This is the furthest we've gotten on it. So to say we should slow down, to me, that's one of the more ridiculous things I've ever heard, because we've had two evening meetings with public comments on this on an open, open public hearings. And we closed the public hearing at the last one. We had a handful of people came up, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But our routine, the way we deal with things, and we've dealt with things even bigger than this, is that when you close, we do public hearings in the evening. And once the public hearing is closed, it becomes an unfinished item on our afternoon agenda. And there was no conspiracy to not let people speak or whatever. They've had plenty of opportunity. But all of a sudden, people now say, oh, you weren't given an opportunity to speak. I'd say that's nonsense, the way it works out here. I mean, we dealt with the MOU before we started dealing with the rezonings and stuff here. A lot of this is just planning for the future. We want to make Stafford. There isn't a person up here that don't want to make Stafford a better place to live in, and to provide those services and those entertainment venues and the various things that we hear about all the time. There's not a person up here don't want to wave a magic wand over a quiet town center and make that whole situation go away. But there have been countless hours behind the scenes to talk about what we can do, and we've come up with lots of different ideas, and maybe we have a new one that's coming forward. I don't know. But again, I probably over the next 5 months and 20 days, I'll pontificate again on the things that have been very frustrating, trying to sit up here and do this job and to be criticized by people who don't have a clue what they're criticizing. So that's all I have to say.
By right, this developer could put in 5 basically strip mall looking buildings. I think we all know how ugly that is. So we have a chance of doing something that would be more sightly or something that's unsightly. And they came in saying we could do these. And lastly, this is a test for whether or not Downtown Stafford will work. And it's on the developer. It's not on the county. And if the developer can make this work, then maybe they have given us data and actual information to prove that Downtown Stafford is viable. If this cannot work, and then basically, from what I understand from staff, within 2 years we'll have a good idea of what's going on, and if this is moving along, then we know that the Downtown Stafford can't work. And then we pull the plug on that.
We can't keep up with our transportation issues right now. Stafford County is a parking lot almost every day. Thursday of last week, from Butler Road to Stafford Boulevard, I was coming north for somebody's retirement party, and it was backed up the entire way going south. There was an accident in Fredericksburg and one on the interstate, and it pushed everything all the way over to Potomac Run Road. As you all know, there's an accident every day. The question is, how does it impact our secondary roads? It impacts them greatly. The number one thing I talk to people about is we can't keep up with our road problems. So anyway, that's a big concern. Also, the fact that, this project is going to take 50 to 80% of our fire and rescue services over at Station 2. Those are real infrastructure costs. That's where the $5 million comes from. It is going to cost our residents because there are no proffers to pay for future fire stations. That is an expense to our residents. whether you want to look at it like that or not. The only way we build a new fire station is with general fund money. And if we're not collecting proffers for it, it comes out of our pocketbook. All of us, including me.
Yes, there are people that are against things. There are people that are for things. But I'm going to say, when we look at the future of Stafford County, what do we want it to look like? I want our children, my children, to have some place to go, some centralized place that's beautiful, that sense of space. I want that. And this is not, this particular thing we're voting on today is not that. It's adjacent to it. It's next door to it. But it has the same type of look and feel. And as we go forward as a board into designing what that downtown Stafford looks like, it's for the community. It's not for anybody else. We own the property. You own the property. We decide what it is, what we want 40 years from now for our residents to see. So I will be supporting this project.